Hello, everyone. Welcome to your first lesson in learning the tarot. Um, I just want to say a few things before I get started on the cards. Um, the tarot cards represent a journey through life, okay? And so, really, when you're doing a tarot card reading, you can have that could ever happen in your life. Any possibility is in the tarot deck. So that's why it helps so many people, because it's really any situation that you could think of is in the tarot deck. And so if you start out with that and you realize that, it's going to help you along with your readings, because you'll understand that there's no other option. There's nothing outside of the tarot that doesn't happen in everyday life or everyday situations. Okay, so that's the first thing I want you to get into your head when you're doing tarot readings. So secondly, I've broken this down. You see, I have four different sets here, and then another set. This stack of cards here is the Major Arcana, and I'm going to go into detail with these much later in the lessons, because there's a lot to learn just in these. There's 21 cards. But these are the Major Arcana represent, and I want you to really remember this, they represent major life events, and when these cards come up, they represent something you cannot change in your life. It's just happening. The Minor Arcana, which I have separated here, are things that happen that you can change, that you do have power over. Okay, so it's very important to know. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and put the Major Arcana aside, because I just kind of want to go over the Minor Arcana with you guys. And I've separated these into four piles because they represent the four different elements. And what I want you to remember as well is that tarot reading is very closely connected to astrology. And so, we have the four elements in astrology. We have fire, earth, air, and water. Okay, so what is fire? Fire is fire. Wands. We back up. We have fire, earth, air, water. Wands represent fire signs. Fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And then we have earth signs, which are Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And then we have air signs, which are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And then we have the water signs, which are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Okay, so there's four different elements, and they go in order, okay? So that's why I've stacked them separately. There's a journey for each of these. Okay, so there's a journey starting at 1, going all the way up to the king. Okay, so as I go through these, there's a journey here for each sign, if you can think of it that way. It'll really help you remember and understand the cards better if you can connect these separate cards to different signs. Because if you know astrology, and if you don't, maybe you should do some research, because all of the signs, depending on their element, have different characteristics. Okay, so for instance, fire signs or the wands are all about they're action-oriented people. They're very creative. But mostly, what I want you to remember with the wands and with fire signs is that they're action-oriented. It's about movement, like moving around, okay? Now, if you move on to the earth signs, which represent in tarot the pentacles, okay, this is the sign you'll see in all of these cards. Pentacle, pentacles, pentacles. Earth signs represent things that you can touch and feel and see. So earth signs are very earthly and down to earth. They're very practical. The pentacles deal in things that you can touch and feel, like money, houses, things, okay, earthly things, okay? And when you move on into the swords, which represent the air signs, the swords, so in all this spread, you'll see swords, swords, and we'll go through each of these, okay? So don't worry, swords. So swords representing air. Air signs are all about thinking. They're the intellectual, their thoughts. Okay, so totally opposite of earthly things, totally opposite of taking action and movement. They're thinkers. Okay, so that's what the swords represent, is thinking and intellect. Things that are inside of your head. Okay, and then lastly, we have the cups, and the cups represent the water signs. Water signs, again, are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, and the cups represent emotion, and that's what the water signs are all about. So things that you feel, it's not in your head, it's in your feelings. Okay, so you've got the 4 different elements that represent the 4, the 12 signs of the zodiac, like I explained earlier. So now what I'm going to do in the next lesson is I'm going to go through each little section that I've separated. So we'll start with wands because, of course, fire sign, again, the first sign is Aries in the zodiac, which is a fire sign. Okay, so we'll start there, and then we'll move along to the others, and then we'll eventually end up going over the major arcana, which will make more sense in the end once you see the journey for each one. Okay, I hope you join me for the next episode. Thanks so much.